But while the lack of bank holiday sunshine may not have had you firing up the barbecue, there is time yet. Doctors are warning.
Ever optimistic.
Yeah, the doctors are warning that the unpredictability in the weather could mean that Brits aren't protecting themselves against the sun.
Yes, the British Association of Dermatologists says that people aren't checking their skin for signs of cancer as much as they should be. So we asked some shoppers if they checked their skin regularly.
No, because I would notice it. Don't need to check if it's on top of the skin.
Would you notice if it was on your back?
No. So that would have to be checked in a mirror, or someone would hopefully tell me.
I've got a couple of moles that I keep an eye on, but not particularly, I don't know. But if I go out in the sun, I do put plenty of sun cream on, so because I'm so fair, I just burn, so otherwise, so.
To protect my skin, really. I probably shouldn't. I don't wear a high enough factor a lot of the time, I don't think, because I like to get a colour as well, but I do wear it.
So do you get burned?
I generally don't, actually, and no, generally I don't. My husband says I do, but I don't think I do.
Recently I had this little mark here and went to the doctors, and they said it's probably as a result of, sun at some point, pre-cancerous, which, sounds worse than it is. So they gave me some stuff to put on it and just monitor it, basically.
Well, we can talk to Dr. Helathy Hussain, who's a member of the British Association of Dermatologists. Good morning.
Good morning.
How often do you see people and you have to spot something on their skin more than them being aware of it?
I think what's important that people get referred to the hospital are actually referred via their GP. So they would have either gone to their GP with something else and the GP spotted it, or they've gone specifically for that. So as a skin specialist, we are actually getting targeted referrals from GPs. But one of the things that we're trying to increase is public awareness about what to look out for and the signs and symptoms that they should be presenting to their GP with. And that's really, really important, because early detection is so critical in actually getting on top of skin cancer.
We've got some images of different types of skin cancer. Just talk us through what these are and what you should look out for. So what's that?
Okay, so this is actually a type of skin cancer called a squamous cell skin cancer, and this is actually a red scaly plaque on the skin. And this is one of the types of skin cancer that people are often not aware of, because it's not arising from a freckle or a mole on the skin. It's a non-healing red scaly patch on the skin.
So that just comes from nowhere? It's not an existing freckle?
No, it's not a cut. Essentially, people often treat it as a patch of eczema, or they think it's a little sore which isn't healing. But the important thing is that it's not recovering, or it's not progressing the way you expect a normal sore or a graze to do so. And the point we're trying to make is that if anything on your skin isn't progressing the way it should be, or you expect it to, you should go and see your GP.
This one?
So this is actually the commonest type of skin cancer, called a basal cell type of skin cancer. And again, this is often mistaken for a non-healing graze on the skin. People think it might be a little cyst which isn't healing, but actually it doesn't heal, because it's actually a type of skin cancer which is related to the sun.
And again, does that come from nothing, or does it form from a freckle or an existing blemish?
So these actually arise from areas on the skin, so you don't have to have an existing blemish there. It can just come up as a little spot, a little flesh-coloured lump, and that's important because it doesn't often arise from a mole.
And we've got one more here. I mean, this is much more pronounced, isn't it? The others were quite flat almost, but this is raised. What's happening here?
So this is, again, another type of skin cancer called a squamous cell skin cancer. Now, often here, the patient will notice a sudden rapid development of a lump which has suddenly come up on their skin. It often bleeds, it crusts, and because it's popped up so quickly, often people think it's a little cyst. But again, this one doesn't arise from a mole, but these are the types of skin cancer which are the most common, but the most serious type is melanoma, which arises from a freckle on the skin or a mole on the skin, and that's the thing that people are a little bit more aware about. But those non-melanoma skin cancer are the ones that people generally don't have that much awareness about.
So if someone watching today thinks they have something like this, and then it's diagnosed as, yes, this is cancerous, how easy is it to remove and to just carry on with life?
Well, I think there's two issues. First of all, going to see your GP is the first point of call, because you can be seen in hospital by a specialist within 2 weeks of your going to see your GP. So you shouldn't sit at home and worry about it. You should go and see your GP, and if they don't know what's going on, they'll refer you straight away. The key thing with all types of skin cancer diagnosis is that early diagnosis is the key to cure.
And just finally, in terms of what you should do as a precaution, I mean, we hear about creams and everything else. Just tell people how to guard against it, because we're a bit complacent, aren't we?
Well, it's about being sensible in the sun. We're not saying people shouldn't go out and enjoy the sun. It's just about sensible measures. So you should try and avoid the extremes of heat from 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock. If you're going out in the sun, make sure you wear a wide-brimmed hat and high-factor sunblock, and reapply it when you're out there. That's important. Burning is an absolute no-no. There's no such thing as a healthy tan, and that's what you should try and avoid.
How often should you reapply?
If you're outside, at least every 2 hours, but if you're going in the water, then as soon as you come out of the water, or if you're sweating again, then reapply it as often as you can.
OK, Dr. Helathy Hussain, thank you very much.